We found out yesterday that today's guest is a true darling. She's also a dating coach. Catch part 2 coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Johnny Rockets at Broadway at the Beach. We're focused on dating and relationships, part 2. And we're visiting with Candace McKenzie, a dating and relationship coach. Good morning again. Candace, back-to-back days at Johnny Rockets. This place is the bomb.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for letting us in. You and your family and the other folks here, you got a tremendous group. And, of course, on an early morning, 7 a.m. on a Thursday, to see the crowd. A couple of folks that you opened the doors was kind of them, but we'll let some other folks in while we're here.
We're happy to have you. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah, what set the stage for you to become a dating and relationship coach, Candace?
Lots of life experience, I'd like to say. I like to affectionately tell people that after I left Myrtle Beach, kissed a lot of frogs. A lot of frogs. Then I decided to go to California. And I graduated from the University of Southern California Meat Market, and I got degrees in If You Are a Loser, Please Come Date Me Now.
Oh, yeah.
Took a lot of classes on that one. But he's perfect on paper. Why won't this work?
Right.
Basically, I've just been through it all. And it wasn't something, as we were discussing before, it wasn't a childhood dream of mine to wake up one day and be a relationship coach. It's something that just magically happened. It was something sitting around with girlfriends, going out, having drinks, opening up about, my experiences. Some of my friends are going through divorces. Well, let's talk to Candace. She's still single. She can tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I just thought, well, people are really getting something out of what I'm telling them. And for some reason, I have a knack at this. So I wrote a book. And I didn't consider myself a writer. I just started writing down what I heard, my experiences, my friends' experiences. I got a wonderful editor. Then I said, well, I'm just going to take this a step further, and I'm going to do radio and maybe do some local television and do a blogger and have an advice website and lecture. And so here I am. It just sort of happened.
That's opened Candace up to the world.
It's opened the world.
Not just your friends who are getting divorces or having a tough time or needed some advice. It's really opened you up to the world.
It's really opened me up to the world, and not just for women, because originally that was the market I was going for. It was for single women, something like Leaving from the Sex and the City. When I have a wonderful publicist, so when I started doing national radio and doing television and had the blogger up, all of a sudden I got male clients. Yeah. And then I got older clients and even young adult clients. And I thought, well, there's really a market for this just beyond for women. Right. I'm going to write a book for guys. Be a Dating Dude is my second book.
Be a Dating Dude. I'm going to grab the cover of your book. I'm trying to think. I wonder what the cover's going to look like for Be a Dating Dude. You'll have a nice-looking guy in the middle, like you.
Exactly.
And two beautiful women. Who will the two women be on that?
Maybe somebody from Carolina People could be the leading model.
Donald? Yeah. No.
Oh.
Listen up. That's a great way to sell some
we could have
books.
like a little John Travolta look-alike kind of thing, a little dance floor, do a little twirl.
That's going to go, you're going far enough with that, young lady. You're going far enough with that. The book cover, of course, I saw it back in September. You were kind enough to send a copy out. I guess your publicist is really covering you all over the country. Making sure this is spread out everywhere.
I made sure to tell him I really want to do something here in Myrtle Beach. I've done lots of stuff, in Los Angeles. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. This is where my family is, the community that I love and adore. So of course I want to do as much as I can here, book signing events and help out as much as I possibly can. So I appreciate you guys having me.
No, I was just so thrilled. Betty Moses, who does My Senior Moment, our senior columnist. She's been our longtime copy editor, did a great book review on Be a Dating Darling.
And she really sparked my interest. I am going to get Miss Betty Moses to write my third book, Senior.
Come on.
Yes, I'm just definitely, we were talking about this, I'm like, I need Betty Moses to help me write my third novel, Senior and Sexy.
Yeah.
Because again, age is not defined if you can find true love. I think there's something so wonderful and bittersweet, at a later stage in your life, because you're so ready, you know who you are. You're not going to change. You're not going to sacrifice things. And Betty is so funny and lovely and down to earth, and her column is wonderful. So I am definitely looking forward to writing that third book with her. So.
Absolutely. She is thrilled about that as well, Candace.
Yeah.
She's been talking about it. I heard her talking about it at the Heart Ball this weekend. Of course, some of the other great pieces, Weekly Surge, the Sun News, or the McClatchy piece out here, the weekly piece that's covered. Ken Kimes did some tremendous interview questions with you. I was very impressed.
Now, Ken actually found me through my brother, Brian McKenzie. My brother's a musician here in town. He has a recording studio. He's considered a musical engineer. But he also has Solace, which is a pretty well-known local band here. And so I guess he's done some coverage on him and found out that I was a sister and a dating relationship coach. And Valentine's Day episode was coming out. So there you go.
It was perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
I hate to keep reaching over, but there are a couple other great magazines. Complete Woman had a big piece on you. I don't know if folks can see that. The light is fantastic here early on a Thursday morning. Also, the Learning Annex, which is a great spread. And what is the Learning Annex?
Donald Trump is probably the most noteworthy speaker there. It's mostly West Coast bound. They do have them in Atlanta, I believe, and in New York. They're really investment courses, not just financial investment, but also about emotional investment. So that's where I come in. I teach a class on dating, how to get rid of your fears, the best way to pick up somebody, the best way to break up with someone. Obviously, there's all different types of self-help classes, but pretty much that's where most people find me or have heard from me is at the Learning Annex.
Sure. You've just asked some of the questions yourself. We've got to hear it. What is the best way, if there is such a thing, to break up with somebody, Candace?
There is a proper way to break up with somebody. I like to affectionately say now it's a couple of days after Valentine's. Perhaps you got lost in love and, got carried away in the moment, and now you've got a Valentine's vampire.
Oh, no. There is a thing. Yeah.
There's such a thing.
There is.
And you can't get rid of this person, and you don't know what to do. The first thing I like to tell people is don't assume anything. Don't assume that not returning their phone calls they'll get that you don't want to see them again. It's a very rude thing to do. Be upfront with them. Tell them face to face if you can. Listen, I really had a great time. I just don't feel that certain connection. I don't think that there's anything that's going to make us really gel together. But thank you. I had a wonderful time. Be very clear. After you're very clear, if they don't get that and they're continuing to pester you, God forbid they come to visit you at work, maybe send you harassing emails, that's when you take it to the next level. The next level is calling them or sending them an email and telling them, I'm considering this harassment. Again, I wish you well, but I do not care for us to see each other anymore. But thank you. Again, I wish you well. I'm trying to say this because you're being professional and being very nice.
Sure.
If it takes a level after that and they continue to do that, then please print out all the emails that they have given to you, especially if they're harassing. Please take any phone calls, and please get yourself down to the police station and make out a report. A report can be filed so that, God forbid, if something does happen, you have something that will hold up in court. Again, I'm going to extremes. I'm not trying to scare anybody away, but I'm saying please be prepared. And all you have to say is if they've gone to a certain level and a point after you have called them, all you have to do is send them an email or call them and say, I have contacted the police. This is considered harassment, and I have filed a report. 99.9% time, that will just scare the person away. That'll scare them away.
Sure. And of course, oftentimes that happens in short-term relationships. We think about the real fear associated with a long-term relationship where it's so easy to fall back in the trap of every once in a while getting back together. In a big town like L.A., or a big city like L.A., maybe not, but in small communities like the Florence area or Lumberton and Laurinburg within our viewing area, right here in Myrtle Beach, it's probably pretty difficult.
It is.
Getting out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah, we like to say affectionately Los Angeles has the 6 degrees of separation. To Kevin Bacon, they always add that in. And here in Myrtle Beach, it's definitely the 2% degree of separation. Just because it is such a small town, and God forbid, it just happens. You tend to run into an ex or somebody's heard of you. So what you do here is be smart about it. Obviously, if you're going to do what I suggest, doing the speed dating and seeing a lot of different people, Monday through Thursday, everybody, best to do that for a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. Be smart smart about it. Don't go to the same places all the time. Choose maybe Myrtle's Inlet, and then maybe choose Myrtle Beach, and then go to North Myrtle Beach. Try to switch the places up. If it does happen, then acknowledge the person. Walk up to them, say hello. Don't try to hide from them. That's just being rude. Say hi. This is my friend. Introduce the person to the other person that you're dating. People should realize it is a numbers game. Be upfront and honest with that person that you are going to see other people until you're ready to settle down to get serious. By that I mean you definitely want to see different people for at least 3 months. That's a really tough thing for a lot of people.
3 months.
3 months, and I can see your face. 3 months.
Wow.
Why I'm saying 3 months is really, what do you know about a person? Think about it. Truly, truly, truly. Not only beyond those 6 questions, spending time with people, getting to know them. I'm trying to make people slow down and take the time, see other people. You don't want to see the same person more than 2 or 3 times a week. It's just too much. Take your time, get to cultivate the relationship, see other people, and then at 3 months, that's when you say, I would like to ask for us to be exclusive.
Right. So again, over the course of the first 3 months, not to see each other more than 2 or 3 times a week.
It's tough for people.
And the encouragement is to possibly go out with other folks on the other nights?
Absolutely. Because if it doesn't work out with that one person, you have those other opportunities to fall back on.
Right. Now,
and also, too, when you go with other people, your heart doesn't get attached right away to somebody. You know what I'm talking about. The fact that you're not constantly waiting by the phone for that person to call and being desperate. You're being active. You're being busy. You're going out with other people.
Should she understand it? If I'm going out with other folks during the week, she should be okay even as we're trying to grow stronger and determine if we're right for each other. Should she be okay with the idea that I'm possibly seeing someone else trying to do the same thing?
As long as you're honest with her and tell her up front, then she should be okay with it. If you're not, again, don't make any assumptions. Lay it on the line. Tell it like it is. Say, I care enough about you and us, for both of us, not just me. That makes it for both of you, to go out and see other people, to make sure that we are strong enough to make this work for at least 3 months. Now, I'm not talking about having sexual relationships. I'm talking about just cultivating intimate, mental relationships. Obviously, chemistry has to be there as well, too. If that person is not okay with that, then they're too immature for you to go out with, and you need to go on to somebody else.
Good for you, Candace. Those are great words. We were talking about, you were stressing Monday through Thursday.
Yes.
There must be some taboo about the weekend.
It's not so much I make it taboo, but especially if you don't know the person, you've never met them before, maybe you met them through online dating or it's a blind date, then you definitely want to have what I like to call a chemistry date to make sure that there's some magnetism there. So to be on the safe side, and also to help with men and their bank accounts, because one of the biggest complaints I hear from men is, I can't afford to date. And then I like to pose, where are you taking them out and what type of women are you going out with? You should only do Monday through Thursday if you're meeting a person for the very first time. Cup of coffee, glass of wine, that is it. 45 minutes tops. That way you can just kind of talk and see if there's a little magnetism. Then you take it to the next level. Then you can do dinner, bowling, playing pool, something active. You don't want to go on a beach, go take a nice long stroll on a beach for a first sailing, hiking. Don't get in a car with a person for a first couple of days. You just want to be smart about things. Watch Unsolved Mysteries. Hello. Is that not enough to scare you away? Or Fatal Attraction, please,
Right. I'm
So
just
be safe.
through those aspects again. Those, even if it's 4 days a week, just the Monday through Thursday. If there's the potential of 2 nights during the week going out with 2 different folks, you're encouraging that person. I mean, you're saying that I'm trying to determine if this is right, if you and I are right for each other. This is good for us. But you're saying that potentially there are up to 2 folks during the week. I mean, if you're going out.
If the opportunity is there. I mean, if there is an opportunity for you and you see somebody attractive and you think that you might be compatible, just because you had a couple good dates with somebody else, you shouldn't stop yourself from going out with this other person. Again, I'm not the end-all, end-all.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying from my experience, from what I've heard from other people, I'm trying to set up standards for people. My job is to slow things down because love is blind, and our heart and lust and hormones, they really get in the way. I'm the first person to be very guilty of racing. As I put my hand up. I have definitely I've made all the mistakes, and I still do. I'm human like everybody else. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I race into things. I just tell people to slow things down. So even though I'm saying Monday through Thursday, obviously if there's an opportunity for Friday through Sunday, if you've already met the person, you know about them, and you know that there's chemistry, then fine, go on the weekend, no problem. Same thing, maybe you had a couple of days and you haven't had an opportunity, and that's fine. Ask them out again if the opportunity arises. Again, I'm just trying to set standards that people slow it down.
So you're pretty good on the do what I say and not, you're really into the do what I say, and I'm doing what I say. Yeah.
I have to.
Not just what I preach.
Hard. It's hard. My friends, we were talking about this before, my friends, we all joke, I'm like, I can't do it because I wrote the book on it.
Right.
But it's really easy. You meet somebody attractive, but you know going down the road it's not going to work, so it's hard sometimes
It is, I'm sure, Candace. In a big city like LA, there's probably a lot more opportunities than we talked about than here. If a viewer needs to run off to work now or get off to school, for someone who may have missed you yesterday here on the show, what's the best way for someone to learn more about you or learn about the book of Be a Dating Darling? Is there a good place to track that down?
They can go to my website, thedatingdarling, DAHLING.com. It's pretty much most of the information, the lecture schedule, the advice column, the MySpace account, which I only do for advertising of the book. I want to make that very clear.
Well, MySpace is probably a good place to meet folks.
No, well, you'd be very surprised. I was one of the people that, I don't do MySpace because child molesters, and it's got such a kind of a strange rap. It's the age group that's kind of not really my bracket.
Right.
But it's really been a great advertising tool for me for young singles to really find out, and really for young college students to be safe. A lot of these kids get some pretty bad stories I hear from some of these young college kids. So, Amazon.com is a wonderful way to check out the book. There's a free preview there. Locally it's here in Barnes & Nobles, and most of the Walden Books here.
You have a lot of book signings. I know you had one this past weekend before the hardball.
I did.
That day you had a book signing.
I did at the Walden Books, yes.
The Walden Books, good.
Yes, and I was able to go to the hardball and really talk there, which was a wonderful event.
Absolutely. Saw a lot of old friends. It was a good opportunity to get out.
It was a wonderful opportunity, yes.
We think about, I saw a question that had been posed to you in another setting, Candace, about the lines blurring between men and women, with women becoming more independent.
Yes.
Has that been something that struck a chord with you? Have you seen that?
What happens is that women have become more independent socially, and what happens is they've lost a bit of their femininity, I think, when they go into dating. And with that, I mean, because more women are going into the corporate world and they're becoming presidents and vice presidents, they're used to dealing in a conference room with a bunch of guys, being a tiger. And I think when they go on a date, it's almost like that with a man. It's like two male energies together. And so a lot of guys are like, I really don't enjoy going out with a successful woman. It's not about intimidation. She doesn't know how to act like a woman. She's, doesn't know how to take me complimenting her. She thinks, something's wrong with that. I offered to pay for the dinner, and she thought that I wanted something more, that I was expecting something. She constantly argues with me. She's not very trusting. So I've really found that that's really affected a lot of women in the dating world. They don't want to trust as much as they've done before. So
how can guys get over that?
I think it's a problem with women. I think that they need to really, investigate. It's really the woman's problem.
Oh, I understand. But for a guy, how would he date a progressive, strong, independent woman?
I think that
he would have to say, honey, you need to work on that.
He would have to gently say that, and also be intuitive enough to know that this person is a nice, modest person, but also a successful person as well. We were talking a little bit about that before. If you really investigate people's behavior, you can pick on someone who's very successful, but not in your face all the time. Or when you say, this is like how I like to say, so how have things been? When a person says how they have been instead of going on their resume, like all the businesses that they've bought or how the career is going.
How do you date, Candace? That must be difficult.
I knew that question was coming.
Intimidating for guys. If you're a dating relationship coach, an expert, albeit because you dated a lot, you at some point, I know Donna wanted me to ask how many dates you've been on, but how do you date in general?
Well, I think the question would be, Greg, how does Myrtle Beach's most popular bachelor go and date?
There's a lot of bachelors, and I date, but I'm the interviewer.
Why are you still single?
Those are very
Inquire what each people want to know.
That's right. I'll find out. Let's finish the interview. But it must be a difficult thing at times since you're providing advice. Is that intimidating to guys?
It's very intimidating. It's very difficult for me to date. A lot of people think, guys voice for sure,
She's constant.
Because of I'm confident, not because of how I look. I'm not saying that I think I look this way, but because she's confident, she knows what to do. No. Because of what I do, it really scares a lot of gentlemen off because they think I'm going to grade the performance on the date or write about them.
Aren't you?
Well, of course, not so much what happens between us, but if they divulge something maybe about an ex or a friend or something, of course I'm going to change names and locations. I would never do that in a million years, but of course I'm going to write about it because it's going to help other people. But I really travel so much. I go back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast. I am so busy, and it's my choice. I do tell busy singles, you can make time to date. For me, it's just my choice. I've been traveling so much, it's hard for me to cultivate a serious relationship. I love to date, and if I met the right person, I would be open to it. I just haven't met just that right person. So until then, I really enjoy meeting new people and discovering new places.
Absolutely.
And
you said 100 things that would segue me well into some other questions, but I'm just blown away.
Well, then if you can't think of other questions, so we come back to why are you still single, Brett?
That's right. Why are women flaky? I mean, there's kind of that the fatal attraction approach. That's something that a lot of guys worry about. How do they make sure to get a stable woman? At some point in the relationship, they just snap. There's a lot of fears that many men have.
Well, men are psycho too, but I will honestly say women are much more psycho sometimes than men. I think that I've just heard some really horrible stories of tires being slashed and rocks getting thrown in cars and, women, following the gentleman, taking pictures of them. Men say that women are flaky because they have not taken the time to investigate really what they want. So what's happened is they'll go on a couple of dates with a woman, and then 3-6 months down the road, the woman will completely be different and change her idea of what she wants in a relationship. So ask right up front. Ask those 6 important dating dialing questions.
Oh yeah, let's hear those again. We just got a couple of minutes, and they were great questions for folks who missed it yesterday.
Age. What are your age deal breakers? Make sure you guys are close in age. Make sure you share the same religious beliefs. Make sure that person lives in a somewhat close location. Again, these are only if you want to get serious.
Right.
You don't want to be traveling to Africa someplace or to Britain back and forth. That's sacrifice. Children, do you want kids? Do you not want kids?
Right.
Make sure that person is absolutely positively divorced, not separated. Separation, too much emotional baggage, absolutely divorced. And does that person have a ready-made family? Are they already coming in with a bunch of kids? And if you got married, are you okay with those kids living with you possibly? And being maybe a second parent to those children.
And you had said yesterday to go ahead and ask those or find those out in the first couple of days. Right.
And I forgot the most important one is you have to have chemistry. Do you have chemistry with that person? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with physical attraction. People say, I want something more than physical attraction. I want something more than just physical attraction. You didn't say you didn't want no attraction whatsoever. So you got to have the initial magnetism. If it's not there beginning, if there's not a little bit of blood and fire happening when you first meet that person, it's not going to be there 30, 40, 50 years into the marriage.
We've heard a common phrase from a guy who's real popular in the dating world. Another guy, much like yourself, like David D'Angelo, is attraction a choice, Candace? Is attraction a choice? So oftentimes for guys, it may be purely external. What is it for women? How are they attracted to guys?
Attraction is a choice. I believe that. Chemistry is not a choice. I'll specify that. One of the reasons I'm not a big fan of eHarmony, which is an online dating site that say they can scientifically find chemistry with you and somebody else. Chemistry cannot be defined. No one can truly define it. Science can't define it. It's just that strange magnetism that happens between you and somebody else. What is your choice is beyond the chemistry, beyond the attraction, to see if it's going to happen or not. So that's where I like to be, but that's where the choice comes in. You can't choose who you're attracted to. That's why, it's fine when I tell people that are married or in relationships, it's okay, it's healthy to look at other attractive people. It's, if you touch or if you step that line, that is your choice. So make it your choice beyond attraction to see, to ask those questions. Know what your deal breakers are. Know what makes you tick. Don't make sacrifices. Stay true to who you are, and then I swear to you, God and the universe will magically bring that right person to you.
Those are great words.
Yeah.
Candace, I hate to say we've run out of time here at Johnny Rockets on a Thursday. Thanks so much again for being
Thank
with
you.
us.
I've had a great time.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Candace McKenzie coming up next. Golly, there's so many questions I wanted to ask this morning. We ran out of time, and this was part 2. I had about 19 other questions I wanted to get into. There were 3 critical ones, and I was trying to think, how can I get those answered? How, if you've got questions, can you get them answered? There's a great place. Check out thedatingdarling.com. That's DAHLING, thedatingdarling.com. Candace provides some tremendous information online. You can go ahead and send in a question, send in advice, even kind of a question. She quickly responds. It's a great opportunity. What about a normal guy? How can he meet an above-average gal? What can he do? Check out thedatingdarling.com. Or is there love at first sight? Is there such a thing? Check it out, thedatingdarling.com. Ask her that question. See what she'll say. I'd be interested. What about multiple, if there was an opportunity to meet multiple women and still not be considered a player? Do you want to know? Do you want to know that answer? Check out thedatingdarling.com.